Would Ciryl Gane have beaten Tom Aspinall? Would have Ciryl Gane finished Tom Aspinall? Okay. Because Ciryl Gane's training partner believes so. He believes the way that fight was going and the momentum of that fight, not only would have Ciryl won, Ciryl would have finished him. Now, at some point, guys, and we've avoided this out of grace because there was an injury. But at some point, we are going to have to start this up. That's what doing a rematch is all about. We're going to have to restart this up and start discussing what it is we saw that night in the few minutes that we saw something that night. And I will tell you, be careful forming an opinion. Like, be careful. Don't be afraid to go back and rewatch that match. Here, let me give you an example. That fight was a hard fight. I mean, it turns into a kickboxing affair, and Ciryl is a professional kickboxer. Tom is really good at kickboxing, but his experience has come from the gym. Like, it's a different thing. But there's a moment in that fight, and I do feel as though everyone missed it. And it's where Tom goes for a takedown, and Tom misses the takedown by a country mile. And I have heard people say that, well, the takedown wasn't even close, and therefore that's why the whole conversation of this was a kickboxing fight and was going to remain a kickboxing fight. Tom attempted to change that. It wasn't close. Ciryl, we don't believe, would ever attempt to change that, and therefore it's where we get left with the word kickboxing. Fair analysis. And even likely that for Ciryl to beat Tom, he's going to have to out-kickbox him. For Tom to beat Ciryl, he's going to have to out-kickbox him. When you get a big power puncher, which is what Tom is, your probability diminishes each round greatly. Right? If you're a knockout guy, it's no different than Mike Tyson. If you're a knockout guy, the more time that goes on, your likelihood goes down. Fine. But I feel as though I probably just summarized how you feel about that fight, and I do want to go back to that takedown, because the one thing that I think that you're unaware of, Ciryl poked him in the eyes to stop the takedown. The double eye poke, right? The eye poke that ended the fight, that ended up being a double eye poke that ended the fight, was not the first eye poke. It was the second. The first eye poke, and you'll miss this. I don't think that the referee ever called it. I don't think that Tom ever said anything to the referee, but if you go back and you watch that double leg attempt, and you want to wonder why it missed by so much. I know the first time that I saw it, I thought because Tom shot from too far out. You must be within arm's reach. It's a simple rule, but it's a hard thing to do. If you stick your arm straight out and you cannot touch your opponent, then he is too far to shoot on. That doesn't matter if you're in a jiu-jitsu match, a wrestling match, or an MMA fight. The wrestling aspect of the shot is all the same. He must be within an arm's reach. Great. The way that Ciryl steers him off, right, like a matador, in that moment I thought, well, Tom just shot from too far away, but I rewatched it, and he didn't. The setup was actually very nice. It was very well timed, and Tom's takes an action, and he comes after a reaction. Everything was nice, and then he gets out-matadored off. He gets out-matadored off because he gets poked in his eye. That was the first eye poke, which arguably, I mean, if you just look at it, we never know how bad an eye poke is. It's all on what the guy says it is. We never actually know. But if you were to go back on what it looked like, that one looked bad. It looked like the worst of the eye pokes. And Tom came up right out of it, and he just kept going with the action, which is why I feel that people missed it. So I just bring that to you. At some point, we're going to have to talk about this, right? I mean, as these guys get ready to fight again, which is the direction that we're told that is going to go, then we're going to start discussing what we saw and what we think we would see if that night were extended, and moreover, what we think both guys can learn and change. That's probably your most interesting conversation, by the way. What can those guys change? What can they do different? And if it is as simple as Ciryl is never even going to try to take him down, and Tom can't take Ciryl down, okay, great. We've got it pretty straightforward. We've got this kickboxing match. which if you have a more skilled kickboxer in Ciryl, at least on paper, that's going to be good for him the longer the night goes. But if you got a big power puncher like you do in Tom, he's going to have to find ways to catch him, get in there, set him up, get rid of him early. Have we seen enough in those 3 minutes to determine that Tom isn't likely to be able to find him and get rid of him early? Have we seen enough in those 3 minutes to believe that Ciryl can duplicate and hang in there and use footwork and use speed and get in and get out? And my analysis, no, I don't think so. I don't think that we do know who's better between those guys. I think it's an exciting fight. I think if we did know, and if we were as confident as many of us pretend that we are, we wouldn't want to see the fight, but we do. We do want to see that match. It is a compelling match. And I'm not ready to concede to you that the takedown wouldn't work. I'll be the first to kick off the conversation to let you know it was defended the first time with an eye poke.